Free Dolph.
Man, what Cam Newton be wearing, man?
You don't like his fits
Man,
with them hats.
man, look at man, sent you something, man. That
Oh
boy on the
goodness.
field with Shadur.
There we go. I'm about to run through this whole super quick. Oh, that's a key tour, nigga.
Keith Terry.
Dang. Cam Newton got on. What? That's on in my head. That boy Cam Newton got a missile on his hat on top of his stuff with some burgundy boots. You know, that boy Cam Newton sick.
Man, they
Then that
finish
man on the
left foot.
field, and then he on the field with that on too. I know he hot. Hell no. All right, man. All right, so we just did Arizona. We were talking Purdue. Yeah, Purdue right now, man, they looking at possibly a 5-loss season. And even if it ain't 5, they may have hurt their entire playoff chances early on. Um, which kind of sucks for them, man. But let's take a look at this Purdue roster right quick and see what they got up. They already had one running back. I guess a guy that they moved from receiver or another position to running back. He had 99 overall, but he out. He is injured. He got Merriweather, who's a senior too. He got 3 senior running backs right now. So this is a team that relies heavy on the run game. They got a junior QB who's a 79 overall too. I don't even think he's just a 3-star at that too. So I don't know for Purdue right now, man. This might be a lost year for them. We'll see what happens with this MTSU game. But what's your thoughts on Purdue moving forward, Ole Miss?
Yeah, man, I think Purdue pretty much cost themselves the season, man, with that Wisconsin loss. Um, I think it's bowl game at best at this point in the season, 3-3, unranked, still with 2 top 10 opponents, and then he still got another like what top 10 opponent, CPU. You still have
Hmm.
another top, yeah. So it's three more games, potentially uh him dropping. I don't see him winning both MTSU and Oregon, maybe one.
Hmm.
And I definitely don't see him getting to a conference championship game. So yeah, he's on the outside looking in right now.
He got to reel off. If he can reel off these next 3, beat MTSU, USC, UCLA, and then he got a bye week coming up before heading to Oregon, then he might have a chance if he can knock down Oregon. But he gotta
But he got
win
to win
out.
out. He got to win out. Yeah, I was like, he got to
Yeah.
win out to have any chance at a CFP.
Hmm. So be interested to see what these Boilermakers do, man. We're gonna talk a little bit about this recruiting in a little bit. We got one more team left, and that's South Carolina, the Gamecocks. The Gamecocks, they were outside of the top 10 when we did the first pod because they had dropped 2 games. Now they number 7 at 5-2 after a big win against Texas. And this is a team that we knew were going to have some early on issues because they lost Braswell, they lost Sellers. Those 2 have been at South Carolina, I think, since the beginning, if I'm not mistaken, with Harbor, when Nick Harbor was here. So that's definitely a whole new change for that offense going into this year. And they started out beating Syracuse, number 16 Syracuse, but lost to Middle Tennessee State in week 2. And then after that, I'm sorry, I'm looking at Texas. My bad. I was say I thought South Carolina lost week 1. Oh, they lost to
Hmm.
Washington week 1, and then they lost to UCF week 2. So with those back-to-back losses early on, the method worked because they were able to take those 2 L's and they were able to get back on track against Vanderbilt, beat Texas A&M, Kentucky, just beat Texas last week and beat SMU this week. So they got a big game against Ole Miss coming up next week. Then they got number 10 Oklahoma after that at Oklahoma. Then they play at Tennessee week 11. So really, South Carolina's kind of in the same spot as potentially Arizona or I would say Texas too, because Texas has 2 losses as well. Arizona, they benefit from, I guess, not really being in the SEC right now. But when you get 2 L's in the SEC midway through the year, it's tough because you still got 2 or 3 tough teams to play before you finish out. And so South Carolina's in a tough position right now. But what's your thoughts on where you think South Carolina's gonna land by the end of the year with those? You got an Ole Miss matchup, you got a Tennessee matchup remaining. Where you think South Carolina ends up? You think they end up making the playoffs, or you think they end up being in one of the New Year's Bowl games or something like that?
Well, it's tricky because currently South Carolina's what 4-0 in the SEC,
Hmm.
and so will they have 2 more user games? Was that me and you?
Yeah.
So if they're able to snatch out one, they potentially could end up making the SEC championship game. Um, and then of course that's assuming that they went out with the CPU, which is a toss up. But I think they found their way back into the CFP, man. They, like I said, they really, really just need to be able to catch either me or you, and then
Hmm.
that'll put them 1 loss in the SEC, and they'll control their own destiny from there. Really, get
Hmm.
to a SEC championship. If they win the SEC championship, they in for sure. So and of course 3 losses is nothing, for an SEC team. That's you can get into the playoffs with that. We've
Hmm.
seen it several times. So yeah, it really comes down to them 2 games. If he gets still one between Tennessee and Ole Miss, and is y'all's game in Tennessee or in SC?
In Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Well, I gotta go on the road and play him, so you know how that is. So shoot,
Hmm.
if he can steal one, he might. But if you lose both them games, then I don't see him making it.
Yeah.
I don't see
Yeah.
him making it.
Yeah. He gotta win at least. Shoot. Really, I don't know, man. Cause let's see, beat Texas. If he lose to you next week, is he number 7 right now? Yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. If he lose to you next week, then that's gonna drop him at least till about 16 or 17. Cause Carlock 3-3 right now, so I don't expect him with 3 losses to be ahead of any 2 loss team right now. That's a between 7 and 16. So it's gonna be interesting.